girl, you already knew you weren't gonna, go home with him. So why are you still holding on? Why are you wasting our time? Like, just pop the balloon. I don't think their hearts, their minds are really on the show and on the guys that are on the show. Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If this is your first time here, can I please ask you to hit that subscribe button, turn on your post notification so that whenever there's a new video here, you will be notified. It will also help me to bring you more videos. Thank you so much. Now in this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Pop the Balloon or Find Love by Outlet, episode 83. Oh my gosh. I'd say what a lineup of girls, really. I think it was the most awkward episode ever. I felt like, okay, the girls were looking all good, beautiful girls, It seems like they have a lot going on for themselves as well. And well dressed, all covered up. They were looking, modest, and they were looking presentable, I'd say. However, here, I have no idea what was going on in here. The reason why I would say it was so awkward, it's because these girls seemed like they didn't know what they were doing there, or they didn't know what they wanted, or they were probably just there to show their faces to the people outside and stuff, or they were there to audition for whatever it is that they wanted to do, their careers and stuff. They was there to audition to the people outside and not necessarily the single guys that were there. It could also be because they the way they didn't have enough options, because there were only 4 guys. I felt like there were not enough options for them. If the guys were more, maybe they would have matched with other guys. The 2 girls that stood out for me, I would say, were Jonquil. She's a DJ and she's a teacher as well. She wore like ripped jeans. And then Ja, I think her name was Ja. I'm gonna put the picture there. I felt they stood out because they gave valid reasons. You could see that they were serious, and then their answers were also like really valid. And both, I think, are older as well. The Jonquil is 37 and then the other one is 38, so I believe it's probably the age. So they were much more matured, and they seemed open as well, and they seemed to have known what exactly they went there for. They were not playing, they were not auditioning for some other things. They were there for the right purpose, so they stood out for me. As we already know, it's Pop Balloon or Find Love. People are there for some other reasons, and they give funny reasons for popping on somebody. One of the silliest reasons that I think they gave on this season is Amber. I think the girl's name is Amber, actually telling Jay that the reason why she popped is because he wore skinny jean. So I'm gonna put the video up so you can watch it there.
I'm not your type. Should I be friendly or not? Okay, it's just not, I don't like the skinny jeans. It's just not my thing. Yeah.
Okay, so she even said, should I be friendly or not? Obviously, she was probably going to say something really bad. If somebody says, should I be friendly, it just tells you that they are not friendly at all. So the reason why she probably popped is not because of the skinny jeans, but she had to find a reason, really, to say why she popped. But I can see from what she said, because it doesn't even make sense. The guy was not even wearing skinny jeans. So it was probably something else, but she just had to be friendly. That's why she mentioned skinny jean. So I feel like people just come up with whatever reasons it is, just to pop on somebody. Instead of saying, skinny jeans, maybe she should have just said something different, like, I don't like the outfit or anything of that sort, because I mean that's what they all say anyways. So apart from that, I felt Amber's character was really salty. Maybe that's not who she really is, but on this show she was really salty. I felt like it was just too much. Now, one of the times when I felt she was really being mean was when a very handsome guy, very handsome gentleman, well-spoken, well-dressed, he talks like a gentleman, he talks calmly, he presented himself really well. And that was Martin. So when Martin walked up, and Amber was asked why she popped, I'm just gonna let you watch this video.
Over here, your name and age, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
Amber 34. It's the earring for me and the slits in the eyebrows. Yeah, no, it's a no. But
Perfect.
yeah,
No, is she someone that's your type?
She's very pretty as well. Not necessarily my type. More of a like natural type of woman. Yeah.
that's cute. I'm very natural. Besides the makeup in there.
Yeah. Besides that, yeah.
That's not, yeah, that doesn't make sense, but okay, next.
And what do you mean that doesn't make sense?
A woman wears makeup when she goes out. My body's 100% natural and my hair is extensions, but that, again, that doesn't mean anything. The slits in the eyebrows is giving very juvenile and childish, and I don't like it. And the hoop in the earring is So let's go there.
Beautiful.
Okay, guys. Oh my gosh. I want to ask this question. Why is it that black women, I'm talking about black women, including myself, don't get me wrong. I can't talk about other races because I don't know how they do things. Why is it that black women become so defensive, when somebody talks about their looks, but it's okay for them to talk about a man's looks? I mean, she went for him by saying, okay, she doesn't like, the hoop in the earring and the slit on the eyebrow and all that. And then he also goes and say, I prefer natural kind of looking women. And then she goes on and become defensive, talking about I'm all natural. Everything on me is natural except the makeup, blah, 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 blah. Why are you being defensive? Because you told him what you didn't like. And he just told you what he doesn't like. Why become defensive all of a sudden? Like, come on. That to me looks like insecurity. It sounds like insecurity. And you know what I loved about this guy, Martin? Like I told you, Martin is a gentleman. Martin is calm. Other men who would have come for Amber. But you know what Martin said? He just said, beautiful. You guys have seen it for yourself. He just said beautiful and moved on. I mean, come on. That's the man right there. He doesn't have time to fight or exchange words with ladies. That's the man right there. I take my hat off. Now, Martin is a server, and it appeared as if, a lot of them were really questioning his kind of job, and the reason why they didn't want him, or the reason why they popped for him, is because of the kind of job he has. And this girl even asked if he has an apartment of his own. At 33, they feel like, he's not there yet and he's not established yet, and they want somebody that is established. Like I said, he was a gentleman. He looked good. He spoke very well, but his job, they didn't like it. They did like his person, I could see that, but then the kind of job he's doing, they felt like it's not stable, and we're looking for somebody that is stable. It's hard really for men, but it's so easy for us women. If a woman was a server, a lot of men would still go for her, but with men, it's tough, like my guys. It's very hard out there. A man has to work hard. A man has to work at least 3 times as much as a woman would, in order really to find a woman out there. So, I mean, it is what it is. That's what life is. So I want you to watch this clip.
It's just not there. You're 33 and you're just still not there yet, and you need some time to grow. And I'm all for the come up, but I kind of need the come up to me now.
Right now.
Because I'm 33 now, and I'm already in that field of my career, and I want to be there for the whole come ups and take a couple years probably, give or take. But good luck.
What are you doing?
I'm a mammography technologist.
What was that?
Mammography technologist. I scan breast for breast cancer.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, I like that.
Well, you did hold on for quite some time, though. Why so?
I was interested. I didn't want to judge off the fact that you were just a server and you're 33, but then asking more questions and finding out that you're still kind of, it seems like, in limbo. Like, you're not sure, like, you want to stay with the money that's good, but then you also want to take some classes. So I'm not sure if you really are going to go forward with the tech stuff.
I mean, I've already done classes. I'm already doing classes now. Yeah.
I'm happy for you. I really am. Good luck with that, though, for
Thanks
sure.
so much.
Yeah, guys, it is what it is. A server at 33. But he also did mention that he's into software. But unfortunately, like I said, the reality is no woman actually wants to be with a man that is not there yet. Every woman, actually, almost every woman wants to be with a man that's already established. Stability per se culturally, I don't know, with especially with the black society, I think we we want to have somebody that's already established, not somebody that is starting. And then of course, like this girl mentioned, she herself has already a career and she's already established, so she doesn't want somebody that is just starting. She wants somebody that's already there. But if you look at it, you can't blame women really, because those of you that have been with guys that are not established should know what it is like. Because I feel like if a woman is more established, the relationship is really going to be tough, especially for a man, unless you're really secured. If you're not a secured man, you're going to feel threatened. You're going to feel like, a woman doesn't respect you just because they have, something bigger. Most men are really threatened by women who are doing well in their career or who have something going on for themselves. It also depends on women themselves, like they're tired of dragging men that don't know where they want to go. So I don't blame them for popping on him because he's just a server. It's not easy out there, and besides, you don't want to drag issues into your life now to be with somebody that is so stagnant. It's also tough luck for the men out there who are just doing jobs that are considered of low class or low status. But luckily, guys, Martin didn't go home alone. Of course, he matched with somebody, but he said yes. So I was wondering, is he sure? Because first of all, she's 37. She was very calm and reasonable at the same time, and very respectful as well. The way she answered the questions, she respected all the guys and all that, and they matched. So I'm looking forward to their catch up and see how their date went and all that. So anyways, it was a beautiful match. With her character, I still feel like things can work out for the two of them. The age is just a number, and yeah, I hope things work out for them. But I'm just looking forward to their catch up and see, what's up, how their date went, and if they want to really take things seriously. It's possible that, something can work out for the two of them. Now, this second guy, Tay, very good looking, and he mentioned that he's very good with his hands. Oh my gosh. Nobody popped for him. Everybody liked him. I felt he was handsome. I didn't like that he was hesitant at some point. He didn't know who to pop. I felt like he was indecisive at some point. But very handsome young man. He's got a lot going on for himself. I think he's into construction. Like he said, he's very good with his hands. So who doesn't want a man who is good with his hands? That is what represents a man, In the black culture, as a man, you have to be good with your hands. You have to be working with your hands, And the fact that he does construction, that's like a man kind of career. So all of them didn't pop. I thought he was a little bit short. Even those that said, they couldn't go for short guys, didn't actually pop. They held onto their balloons, But then something really bad and sad happened. The gentleman did not leave with a match. All because of my Nigerian sister, Crystal. Crystal held on to her balloon. Very beautiful sister, well dressed, very soft spoken, with a feminine energy. She held on to this balloon until the end. And this happened. I want you guys to watch that clip.
Do they want to be married?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to be married?
I do, but there's just like a lot of factors. I'm Nigerian, so just like accepting the culture and like it's a huge step.
It is.
So I would love to, but at the moment I'm very unsure.
Okay.
You all had Crystal. She was asked if she want to get married, and she says she does want to get married, but she feels like there are a lot of factors, including culture. So at the moment, she's unsure. I want you to watch this.
All right, y'all. Any final question between the two of you? If you don't have one, that's okay as well.
Do you want to get married?
I do. Like, I feel like life is about having a partner. Like, I'm a man, you're a woman. I feel like, we're supposed to go together, So I do. But like you said, it's a lot of stuff to get to that. It's not like something that I'm trying to do right now, but it is something on my list.
When was your last relationship?
2 years ago.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Why are you looking like that?
Because it sounds like you're not ready for commitment. So, yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
Sorry about that.
Okay. But that sounded like what you were saying as well. So I'm kind of confused.
No, it's more like I do want to get married like in the near, like 1 year. Yeah, 1 to 2 years.
You didn't make it sound like that there. I'm so confused.
Yeah, I'm confused.
You didn't make it sound like that right there.
Yeah. It was just more like I don't want weddings to seem like a task. Yeah, it should be more of like a natural feeling. Like I want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but at the end of the day, I just, like I said, from the first thing I said was, you know, I want everything to be intentional. Like, I'm not at the age I want to waste my time or money, you know what I'm saying? Or energy. So, you know, we got to have some type of goal at the end of the day, you know? I feel like if our goals align, then, you know, we on the same journey, despite how long it take us to get there, we got the same journey. So, you know, I'm not mad at you about it though.
Guys, did you just hear that? I feel like you're not ready for commitment. Who is not ready for commitment? Basically, what Tay did was to match her answer. I felt like, here's what I think. I felt Tay didn't want to say he wants to because he knows she said, you know, there are other factors involved. So that's why he answered the question that way so that he can match her answer. So when I tell you guys, are these guys really serious? Are they really coming here for the purpose of, you know, getting a match or getting someone? Because it doesn't sound like it. Like her excuse was very lame, very silly. Let me use the word I like to use. Very silly and very lame to really say that. She sounded so unserious. But at the same time, I felt like she was so nervous. You know, at the same time, you really want to make sure, you know, you might want to, because he was just the second guy. Some people want to see what's out there, you know, which other guys are out there. So that's why they are mostly unsure because they want to see, you know, what's next. But the answers were literally the same. And then she goes on and say, oh, I want to get married in the near future. But my sister, you just told us now, you just told us that, you know, there are other factors involved, like cultural factors and stuff. You are actually the person that is unsure, and you're actually the person that's not ready for commitment. You mentioned it yourself that you're unsure, and now you're telling us that you want to get married in the next 1 year or so. That's a very big excuse. So here's what I think. I think most women really come there looking for men outside, you know, men that are watching the show so that they could potentially get somebody from the outside and not on the show, you know. I'm not saying this is why Crystal did whatever it is that she did. First of all, I feel like she might have been nervous. She was unsure, and, you know, she had to make a decision. And then, of course, that's why she just gave an excuse, or a lame excuse. She looked very confused when she said that. So she was just looking for a reason to say no to this guy. And they looked like they could be a very good match as well. I don't think their hearts, you know, their minds are really on the show and on the guys that are on the show. That's why they are wasting time. You know, they waste time and they can't make decisions. They're very much unsure. Some people will still come to your DM and be like, hey girl, you're very beautiful. I like you. I've seen that you've matched with the other guy on the show, but in case things don't work out, I'm right here. Holla at me. You know, there are still men who can do that. So if you are on the show, be there with your full heart, your full mind, your full chest, your full everything, instead of, you know, thinking about the outside. So it was quite a disappointment because this guy would have left with somebody else, you know, but she held on to her balloon. And then, of course, disappointed the guy. But I hope they go outside and talk about it. You know, if they go outside, they could still go on a date and see if things could go to the next level. It was the nerves. I felt like most part of it was really just the nerves. Now, this girl, Soraya, very outspoken. She looked very beautiful, you know, her curly hair and all that. Very outspoken, very confident. And I felt, you know, ladylike and all that. She was looking all good and beautiful. Her dress, very beautiful. But Mogul can talk. She can talk. And I think she was just there to advertise her craft. Just in case there are people watching so that they can probably, call her for auditions. It's like she was auditioning for a role in a movie. That's how it looked like to me. And it's like she just loved to hear herself talk. She was talking and talking and talking and wasting people's time, I'm like, Suraya, come on now, girl. Come on. You're so beautiful. But this character that you're displaying, not here on Pop the Balloon. Maybe if you're auditioning for a role in a movie, yes. But no, you are not. You're here to find a man. I'm going to let you watch her clips.
I love lamb chops. I love crab meat. Yes, Lord. And I just love food. What would be the other one that I'm okay with getting rid of? Because I don't think I can get rid of those two. Pasta. I love pasta. But you see all that carb that turns into sugar, that turns into everything else. Yeah, you could take my pasta. Just leave my rack and my crab, and we're good.
Okay, sounds good.
Come on, that's your type.
Okay.
And see, here's the thing. It's not about just look at you and be like, no, because I've experienced people that evolve, you grow into things, and that's a good thing, right? So that's why I'm just at least trying to hear where your mind is at. Okay.
Correct.
And if it speaks the volumes of the appearance, then it's like, people change their hair all the time. You change your clothes every day.
Right.
So I'm trying to.
Okay.
I'm going to pop.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And why'd you end up popping?
I'm popping because I think you know where you stand and where you're at. I think you love your pants.
Y'all, I'm gonna go viral for these pants, man.
Look, I don't want you to get rid of your pants because I'm not gonna want the pants, So I want you to stay true to who you are, continue being honest with who you are, because there is a woman that will love your pants down, okay?
That right there, guys, was just a waste of time. At the same time, I felt like she was really just mocking the guy. She wasn't interested from the start, and then she gets him to speak because he knew as well. Guys know when you're not interested, but she held on to the balloon, gets him to speak, and then later on said no. Like, girl, you already knew you weren't gonna, go home with him. So why are you still holding on? Why are you wasting our time? Like, just pop the balloon. Come on, pop the balloon. We're tired of hearing your voice. We're tired. She was enjoying it herself, I guess. So at the same time, I'd say it's pop the balloon. We also want the show to be kind of funny, and I thought she made it, funny. I know it shouldn't just be about matching and stuff. We also need characters like Suria's character, like on the positive side of things. I felt like she made the show funny. We need people like her, we need funny people in the show as well, not just to spice it up a little bit, and not just to be about, matching and going home and stuff. So that's what makes the show interesting. At the same time, I believe, we have some drama actually makes the show interesting, which is great. But yeah, anyways, so this is all on today's review of episode 83. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in my next video.